and welcome back. You're watching Community Storytelling, and I'm Lissa Chrysler. Here at KCAT TV 15, we are so happy to have you with us right now. And I've got a treat for you, a good-looking treat, let me just say. I have somebody sitting next to me who's in uniform, which is enough anyway. And then I tell you, he's with the 129th Rescue Wing, and you're going to say, what? We'll tell you. Major John Kerr. Can I call you John?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I can't. You're too good looking to call a major. I'm sorry.
You're making me blush. Thank you. Too kind.
Oh my goodness. So you, the 129th Rescue Wing, I believe, is stationed out at Moffet Field.
Yes, ma'am. That's right.
And
yep,
you don't have to call me ma'am.
Okay, you got it.
But you probably can't stop, right? What is that thing about? Do they teach you to call ma'ams and sirs?
As a custom and courtesy, it's just really ingrained into us day one in the military. Yes,
yeah, since day one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
well, if you call me ma'am, it's okay.
okay, yeah,
It's okay.
I apologize. It may happen one
Kind
or
of
two
makes
more
me feel
times.
even older than I really am.
No, just honor, custom courtesy. That's it. I
So
apologize.
you're in Moffet Field, and we drive by it all the time. So tell us where you are stationed as we're driving down 101, and we're looking over at the hangar that is not the hangar it used to be. You know, it's half dismantled, but it's still there. Where are you guys stationed?
That's a great question. So, yep, if you look over there to the right as you're going north, or to the left as you're going south on 101, you'll see the two hangars, a little bit different, some construction going on over there. And then right in the middle of that is the two runways, so there's just nothing there. On the right side, or the southeast side of those runways, is where we're at. So there's a small little corner down there, and the whole 129th Rescue Wing is down there in that corner of Moffet Field.
Because they keep talking about developing Moffet Field, but they can't because you're there.
Yeah, well, it's our home, and we're quite fortunate to have such a nice home with so many partners right there with NASA and a whole bunch of other entities. So it's a really nice home for us to call.
Now, are you in the Air Force, the National Guard? What branch are you in?
That's a great question. It's a little bit little challenging to answer, and I'm still learning it myself. We're in the Air Force, but the Air National Guard. So I came over from active duty Air Force recently, about a year and a half ago, and joined the Air National Guard and the California Air National Guard. But we still are in the Air Force. If
Okay,
that
but
makes
you're
sense.
only 18. So how have you already done all of this?
Benjamin Button, I don't know. No, I don't know.
How old are you? How old are you?
35.
Oh my goodness, you look about 22. So you are a lifetimer.
That's the goal. Yep. So.
Well, they haven't kicked you out yet, so you're on your way.
22 to 42, hopefully. We'll see.
So how many years?
A lot of, the Guard is a little bit different because there's so many different career paths we can take, and we can stay in really long because we like people to serve, 20, 30, 40 years in the Air National Guard. And if you're willing and to serve, that's outstanding, and we'll let you serve almost as long as you can. And sometimes 20 years is all people go for. So I'm shooting for at least 20 total years.
And did you go right out of high school?
Sort of. I went to college right out of high school and then commissioned in the Air Force when I was 22.
To be a pilot?
Yep.
You're a pilot?
Yes, ma'am.
And
yeah.
Could you, fly a jetliner? Is it the same thing?
The other gentleman could. He actually does that as a civilian job.
You were somebody else was
He's
gonna
a way
come.
better interviewer.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He's probably not as good looking either, right?
No, he's the best. But I could not right now, no.
And so what's the difference between a jet fighter and a jetliner?
Ooh, great question.
I don't even know.
One's super cool and one's maybe not as cool. No,
I'm guessing the jet fighter is the super cool one, right?
We'll leave that up for interpretation.
Yeah.
No, I think just the mission set. A jet fighter is generally going to try and use that speed and capability to deliver something. Vice, a jetliner is delivering passengers. So a little bit.
Okay.
Slightly different mission set there ultimately.
Well, they don't look as good in their uniforms, let me tell you. Okay.
Yeah, I think I've heard that even all the pilots and aircrew don't like him all the time.
Yeah.
Pros and cons.
Your job is to save lives, right? Isn't that what do you guys do at the rescue unit?
That's right. Yep. Search and rescue is our bread and butter. It's quite a amazing, noble mission.
Yes.
To do everything we do, organized, trained, equipped, is all around going to find people and save them. So it's quite an awesome mission to be a part of.
And are you on a search and rescue mission almost every day, or You get prepared on one day, and then the next day you go out?
I think we would like that because it's quite satisfying to be able to help
bet.
people, even though it's, we like to say, we'll make someone's worst day their best day, but you don't want too many people to have that worst day. However, it is gratifying to be able to execute that mission. But no, it doesn't happen that often, thankfully. It's a lot of training goes into it. I think in our wing, in ops group, we probably average, one civil search and rescue mission every month or every other month. It seems like so far. So we're pretty busy, but.
Well, so what are you doing every day? What's going on
Wonderful
in that wing?
question.
Yes.
What is going on over there at Moffet?
Well, it's just like, I watched the documentary on the Blue Angels.
Yep.
And, they supposedly get up like at the crack of dawn. Do you get up at the crack of dawn?
I try to go to the club right here.
Okay, now the secrets are coming out. But, it's like a long day, but they're practicing every day.
Yeah.
What are you doing every day when you're not doing missions?
Very much the same. Lots of practice. Like tomorrow night we're putting up a line. The HC-130s are flying right now tonight to train, and then the next day we're training day and night. So a lot of flying. There's a lot of currencies we have to maintain to make sure we can fly a lot low level, high level, do certain combat taskings, run the hoist down, integrate with the pararescue men. So a lot of training to stay current and make sure that relatively high-risk missions can be mitigated in order to save someone.
Helicopters and small planes are you use?
Yep. So we're the 129th Rescue Wing is pretty cool. It's got 3 main what we call MDSs, Mission Design Series.
Uh-huh.
Just a kind of a fancy word for an aircraft or a system. So we have the helicopters, which is the HH-60G, and then the HC-130, and then there's the Guardian Angel pararescue men. So generally, the helicopter is going to fly with pararescue men, and so is the HC-130. And then we all work together to go find and pick up the patient.
So when we see, either a helicopter or a plane coming in or out of Moffet Field, is that the rescue wing, or do you have other people out there that we don't know about?
Generally, most of the aviation going in and out of there, and don't take my word, I'm relatively new for only just under 2 years, but most of the aviation going in and out of there, if it's a big fixed wing or a helicopter, it's most likely us. If it's a white jet, it's probably some sort of a corporate aircraft.
All right.
Or maybe something else like that.
So when you're coming and going, most likely it's a practice drill.
A lot of practice. Yep. There's sometimes you may see us when we're coming back from what we call a real world mission.
Yeah, let's talk about those real world missions. I know I don't know if it was that recent, but I remember hearing about you guys going to a cruise ship, like 800 miles out, to rescue a man who had a heart attack, to get him. Not sure which hospital he went to, but someplace around here.
Yeah, it's wild.
Were you on
That's
one
so
of those?
wild.
Have you done a mission like that?
Yeah, I was not on that one, but I've been fortunate enough to help out someone on their worst day like that in the past. It's quite amazing when it works out like that. But yeah, that mission was quite cumbersome because of the distance that you mentioned there.
Yes,
and the condition of that patient was not the best, so that poor gentleman was not having the best day.
But I think he's still alive.
He is. It's quite a cool story. The crew that was able to go out there, find him, pick him up, and then bring him back and bring him to the hospital. Was able to meet with him in the hospital, which was pretty cool to go end to end like that and actually close the loop. So very powerful, noble mission.
And tell me about a mission you've been on.
With the 129th, I was pretty fortunate. Right after I got to the 129th, we did a very similar thing. We were supposed to go TDY for a couple weeks down to Tucson, Arizona. And so I came into work and we were still planning to do that exercise. And then that morning, there was a distressed sailor, like 300 or 400 miles off the coast of San Diego. And so we got the call, and like, hey, if you guys can support, this would be great. So we sent the entire operations group, so the helicopters, the HC-130, and the pararescue men, went 400 miles out, got multiple aerial refuelings from the HC-130, and then the HC-130 was able to find where that boat was using their radar. Then they passed that to us. We found them, hoisted our pararescue men down.
So you send down the parachute, and by itself, and are you yelling at the guy when the parachute comes down, put it around you? And how do these directions get to the person who needs it?
That's such a great question. It's so hard. A lot of times it just changes, and it depends on the scenario, whether it's day, whether they're cooperative or they're unconscious. In this particular case, we were able to insert our pararescue men via a hoist, so it's the winch on the side of the helicopter. So we hoisted them down. They went and got the patient, stabilized them on the ship, and then we hoisted them all out, and then did a whole bunch of aerial refueling back to coast.
Do you all give each other high fives and say, "Yay, we did it"?
At the end of it, it's quite a long day, so you're just kind of
It's
pulling yourself from the aircraft.
like,
You're
okay, let's
exhausted, and it's
fly
like
home.
one of these, like, that was awesome. But then, hours and days later, it really resonates, and yeah, you're pretty happy that you were able to participate in saving somebody's life.
It's when you said, it turns a worst day hopefully into the best day. But whenever I'm around town and I hear a siren or something, or I see an ambulance go by, that's the first thing I say. Oh,
Yeah.
somebody's about to have their worst day ever.
It's the word, yeah.
Yes, but you get to find out that person's worst day became their best day.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
Just
mean,
like all of our emergencies.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, you live in Los Gatos?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you
That's
said you go to Los Gatos. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah. And because now I'm used to it. Now it's just part of our talk. And you have a family here?
Yep. Just us two, and a cat.
Okay.
Yep. We don't have any kids.
That's okay. Yet, because you're young.
Yep,
you're young.
Exactly.
And I mean, what's it like for your wife to have you doing this?
Probably nerve-wracking.
You think? I mean, did you discuss this with her ever?
It's
is it okay if I do this?
It just kind of evolved, and I think sometimes that happens. But I think she's a trooper. She's completely down and supports it and loves it. So and that is the power of having a really noble, sacred mission like that. So it's awesome when people are behind it, and a lot of our significant others are 100% right there, and it wouldn't be possible if they weren't so supportive of it, because it is a lot of time commitment.
She's a military wife.
Yep.
And they're one in a million.
Exactly.
So have you done a lot of traveling where you go from base to base?
Yeah, and I grew up in the military as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
So your parents are pretty proud of you then. You're saving lives.
Yeah.
Well, anybody in the military is saving lives, but you are a hero. You ever think about that? Come on.
We try and stay kind of focused and just to be ready to always react. But we appreciate those two kind of words.
Well, it's true. In fact, don't you guys have this fabulous motto that you live by? Repeat it, please. What's your motto?
Probably referring to what we call TOML. These things we do that others may live. So TOML is that others may live. Yeah, and it's kind of our bread and butter. It's everything starts with TOML.
That's quite the bread and butter to have.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, I almost want to cry talking to you, thinking about turning the worst day into the best day.
Yeah, it really resonates. On this previous deployment, some of the guys and gals, it was their first deployment. And unfortunately, you don't really understand what that means until you're sometimes deployed in a more hostile environment. And then it really resonates like, oh, we go through a lot of stuff to ensure that others are able to come home or that others may live. So, yeah, it's a great mission. We're very fortunate to be able to participate in it, though.
Thank you. Yeah, don't thank me. Do you request to be at the rescue wing, or they assign you?
Yeah. Mostly requests, and then application and a vetting process, and then going through quite a timeline of training and health, medical, and then sure you can fly, and then more training, and then more vetting, and then more training.
I mean, it's exhausting listening to it. I can imagine doing it. I mean, how strict do you have to be about your body? Do you know what I'm saying?
Relatively, yeah.
I mean, I guess you have to keep a certain weight.
Yeah. I believe there is a published requirement, but it just kind of naturally comes with the job. The guys and the gals in the back of the aircraft and the HC and the HH-60 are really moving around. You got to be pretty nimble. The PJs are jumped out of airplanes.
Yeah.
Scuba diving under the water. You got to be super fit for those
yeah.
guys.
How often do they test you to make sure you can still run around and do these crazy things?
It's a yearly PT test for us. The pararescue men have a little bit different standards. I think probably more frequently than the air crew, but yeah, pretty lofty for them.
How many women out there?
That's a great question. We have a couple officers in our squadron, and then a couple officers in the 130th with the HC, and then a couple female enlisted airmen as well. But we could always
use more.
My mom was in the military as well, so it's near and dear to my heart. She was one of the first female officers in the U.S. Army. So
really?
Yeah, so I always am.
Wow.
looking.
And do they make a big deal about that? I mean, it's historic. One of the first of anything.
Yeah, it was, to me, it's like one of my most proud things. So it was very cool to be raised by someone that awesome and powerful. So I'm always
And what did
inspired.
your dad, what about your dad? What army, was he in the Army too?
He was in the Army as well.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Is that where they met and fell in love?
In college.
In
Yep.
college?
Yeah, indeed.
So did you sign up like you went from college to the office and signed up and said, recruit me?
Pretty much.
Yeah?
I was raised in it.
That's
and
all you
I had
knew?
a sibling that went into the service as
But
well,
that's
so
wonderful.
yeah,
That's absolutely
super
wonderful.
fortunate. Yeah.
And
Thanks for asking.
you're very welcome. Thank your mom and dad.
Will
I
do.
mean, they did well. They did well. they did good. I know that's not correct English, but they did. And I know that there is now a Women's Veterans Day celebration at Moffet Field.
Yep.
Because I know Congresswoman Eshoo was, and it's in June.
Yep.
And I think it's maybe year 3 or something.
And it's a great celebration. Colonel Morgan, I believe, if she didn't run it last year, she was heavily involved. And I remember a really good turnout and outstanding response from not only the wing, but the community.
You
So
tell your mom about it?
we did chat about it, yep,
Yeah.
indeed. So it's always cool to see that kind of stuff and then be able to communicate with my mom because I know it is a connection. Yeah.
So where are all the places you've been stationed, you've lived, with your parents and with you now?
Oof.
A lot?
A decent amount. Kansas, Germany, New York, Germany, yeah, again, and then Oklahoma, Alabama, New Mexico,
How
Georgia.
hard is that? How hard is that on a kid?
There's pros and cons,
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
makes you a little bit more dynamic maybe. But
Do you hope to stay here, though?
yeah.
Can you stay here? Can you finish your career here?
Hopefully, that's our plan. We would like to stay here.
Do
and
I
finish
need to
our career
call
here.
Lieutenant Colonel Morgan and talk to her
Please.
about this?
That would be wonderful.
I will do that. I will do that.
That'd be
Tonight
great.
when
I
I leave the
appreciate-
studio.
Okay.
I'm doing that.
Thank you very much.
You are fabulous.
That'd be
You are a
great, man.
hero. You're our local hero. You're our Los Gatos hero. Anybody
just
else
wanna-
from the squadron live here?
Major Kimball does as well. Unfortunately, he just got double booked, so he wasn't able to make it today. But if he's
Okay.
another Los Gatos, then we have a couple folks that live just right outside of Los Gatos as well in the Campbell area.
We have heroes amongst us. I don't know if we knew, but we do now.
Oh,
I hope I
you're too
see you
kind.
around town. And your
Thank you,
next
man.
life that you save, think of me. I'm thanking you in the back of your head.
wonderful.
You're wonderful.
Thank you so much
And-
for your guys' thoughts.
Yeah.
and-
Oh.
and appreciation.
And now we know what's happening out at Moffet Field when we
Yeah.
drive by.
Come and say hi.
And can we do that? No. They're not going to let us
We
on
know.
base. They're certainly not going to let me on base.
You never know.
But and when we see a copter coming back or forth, you might be up there. We'll wave to you.
We're waving. Yeah.
I'll do. You'll wave back.
We do all the time.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
just tough to see it. So yeah.
You've made my day.
Awesome.
You've
Thank
made
you.
my
Same.
7
This has been
seasons
fun.
at KCAT TV 15. I'm going to remember this one forever. Oh my
thank you.
goodness.
It's
So
been
there you
outstanding.
are. There's a hero right here, and he lives near us. How about that? Major John Kerr, 129th Rescue Wing, and now you know what's going on at Moffet Field. They're saving lives. Hopefully they'll never have to save our life, but if
Yep,
you do,
hopefully.
thank you.
We're there.
Oh my goodness. This is community storytelling at its finest, is it not? Oh, thank you for being with us. I hope you enjoyed this. I sure did. I
Yeah,
sure
it
did.
was
Get another
wonderful.
look at this smile. Okay.
Thank you.
He's going to
Too
go home.
kind.
You're going to say to your wife, oh my gosh, I sat with this crazy lady.
No.
It won't be the first time or the last time.
Not at all. This has been wonderful.
And even with that tan, I can see some redness. I can see some
Little
blushing
blush.
coming through. Oh, you're a delight. You go home and call Mom and Dad tonight. Tell them they did great with
I will
you.
do. I'll let them
you.
know.
And you thank them for us, too. Oh, my goodness.
You got it.
Okay, I guess I should sign off now. Lissa Chrysler, Community Storytelling, and we're so happy you have us on here at KCAT TV 15.